Hey,
Which running back on a different team will have a good season? Is it Derrick Henry with the Baltimore Ravens? Is it Tony Pollard with the Tennessee Titans? Or Josh Jacobs with the Green Bay Packers?
I love how you did not include my Eagle, Saquon Barkley. I just love that. I mean, that's just great. Um,
I'm not trying to put pressure on him. Come on.
so for me, um, can what are the other two? It's Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and
Derrick Henry.
I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs on this one because Jordan Love, he had an incredible year, but the defense are gonna be ready to scheme that. You're gonna scheme against Jordan Love. I mean, they're gonna throw everything at him. They're gonna make him feel uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go with Josh Jacobs here. He had an incredible year last year. I feel like he will help Jordan Love right out the gate. They have two wide receivers over there as well, so he's gonna have like 1,000 yards rushing. I can tell you. I can say that like 1,250. Calling it.
BRF.
Hmm. I I gotta agree with my boy Mitch on this. I'm thinking Josh Jacobs too. Now I will say this on Derrick Henry's behalf. I will say this for Derrick Henry. What he's going to do in Baltimore, he's going to take so much of the running burden away from Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson wants to focus on being more of a passing quarterback. Insert Derrick Henry. I will take that beating and then I will make your play action that much more better to where you can focus on what you want to do, which is be better as a passing quarterback. So I will definitely say that on Derrick Henry's behalf. But I agree that it's going to be Josh Jacobs because I feel Josh Jacobs is like, I don't know. I feel like he's basically Aaron Jones, but a little younger and a little better at this stage. I think
Yep.
I think from a dynamic standpoint, he's going to bring more to the Green Bay Packers from the standpoint of his ability. Like the dude is obviously one of the hardest runners. Like when he's one of the hardest runners in the league when he's on his game, and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield is like it's almost second to none. The dude is a really good receiver out of the backfield. He does everything well, and I think he's going to bring a little more than what Aaron Jones brought. Even though Aaron Jones was still a good back for them, I feel like going and getting a Jacobs adds that much more of a dynamic perspective to that offense. And I really think he's going to make the play action that much better for Jordan Love as well. When you got guys like Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson on the outside, so I definitely feel like I think the biggest impact of those three is going to be Josh Jacobs. So I got to agree with my boy Mitch on that one.
Undisputed world champ.
Hey, hey, I think the Lamar Jackson effect is going to affect Derrick Henry. They're going to benefit from each other, especially when you line them up in certain packages, because you don't know whether you, for lack of a better term, coming or going if you have them in a certain package. So I think Derrick Henry's going to definitely take a hell of a lot of pressure off of Lamar Jackson. And in turn, I think that Lamar Jackson is going to take a lot of attention off of Derrick Henry because the thing is this: you can't stop both of them. You know, I'm just gonna be very, very honest. And I know this is a bad comparison. This is a bad comparison. I will say it up front. But you remember when if you remember when Michael Vick would line up with TJ Duckett and on short yardage situation and they didn't know
That's
whether
not a
to go
bad
after,
comparison. That's
yeah,
not
and
a
they would
bad
go after,
comparison. That's not a
yeah.
bad comparison. I
And
like that.
they didn't know whether to go after TJ Duckett at his peak or Michael Vick at a certain point. And I think that's going to be on a level times two because after you pass like the 20-yard line back in them days in Atlanta, they put TJ Duckett in. He was going to beat up on that defensive line in that secondary a little bit. And then after that, Michael Vick is going to run it in for a touchdown. And I can see a lot of that happening at this point in time in Baltimore at this point. It's going to be the Lamar Jackson effect rather than the Michael Vick effect, but they're going to take a lot of pressure off of each other. And I will bet my money on that one at this point in time.
I think Derrick Henry, even though he's 30 years old, he's still capable of giving you 1,000 yards. So let's not act like he's falling off a cliff. Lamar Jackson has also lost weight. He's down to like 205, probably 210 ish. So he wants to be faster. That could actually help out Baltimore because him and Derrick Henry. But I'm going to go with the safe conservative approach. I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs. And I actually have Jordan Love as a sleeper for the MVP in 2024 as well as CJ Stroud.